Wayne Rooney says players face a no-win situation in wage debate. The powers struggle over how Premier League footballers can financially assist in the fight against coronavirus is a disgrace and has players in a no-win situation, says Wayne Rooney. Players have been urged to do more by Health Secretary Matt Hancock, and the Premier League proposed a 30% pay cut. The Professional Footballers Association says that it may harm the NHS. Derby striker Rooney says he is happy to offer support, but asked, why are footballers suddenly the scapegoats? In his Sunday Times column, the 34-year-old ex-England captain added, for the Premier League to just announce the proposal, as it has done, increases the pressure on players, and in my opinion, it is now a no-win situation. If players come out and say they can't agree or are not willing to cut by 30%, even if the real reasons are that it will financially ruin some, it will be presented as rich players refuse pay cut. It seems strange to me because every other decision in this process has been kept behind closed doors, but this had to be announced publicly. Why? It feels as if it's to shame the players, to force them into a corner where they have to pick up the bill for lost revenue. Furloughing staff, what have clubs done so far? England manager Gareth Southgate has reportedly taken a 30% pay cut, though the Football Association is yet to confirm the move. The Premier League says it wants a 30% cut in players' wages to protect employment throughout the professional game. The PFA says the proposal would be detrimental to our NHS, as it would equate to more than £500 million in wage reductions over 12 months, and a loss in tax contributions of more than £200 million to the UK government. Derby player coach Rooney questioned the timing of the Premier League's proposed wage cuts when top-flight captains were already in discussions as to how they could set up a fund that would go to a charitable cause, most likely the NHS. Rooney also said the Premier League's contribution of £20 million to the NHS was a drop in the ocean compared to what players are being asked to give up. How the past few days have played out is a disgrace, added England's all-time leading goalscorer. I get that players are well paid and could give up money. But this should be getting done on a case-by-case basis. Clubs should be sitting down with each player and explaining what savings it needs to survive. Players would accept that. One player might say, I can afford a 30%, another might say, I can only afford 5%. I'd have no problem with some of us paying more. I don't think that would cause any dressing room problems. Whatever way you look at it, we're easy targets. What gets lost is that half our wages get taken by the taxman. Money that goes to the government, money that is helping the NHS. Rooney questioned why big stars from other sports, who can avoid tax by living in places like Monaco, are not being scrutinized over the financial support they are offering in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic. He also criticized Health Secretary Hancock focusing on footballers and believes big clubs do not need players to make cuts to survive, adding if they did then, football is in a far worse position than any of us imagined. Premier League leaders Liverpool are facing criticism from former players and fans for joining Newcastle, Tottenham, Bournemouth, and Norwich in furloughing non-playing staff. Rooney said he expects people to point the finger at him for airing his views on the pay cut issue, but wanted to speak up for players. At the moment it's almost a free-for-all. It's like the government, Premier League and sections of the media have set the players up to fall, he added. Fellow ex-England captain Gary Lineker told BBC One's The Andrew Marr Show that footballers he had spoken to were desperately keen to offer help but were an easy target for criticism. Why not call on all the wealthy to try and help if they possibly can rather than just pick on footballers, the Match of the Day presenter said. Nobody seems to talk about the bankers, the CEOs, huge millionaires. Are they standing up? Are they being asked to stand up? We don't know. The problem is how you do it. It's complicated and it takes time. People are always quick to jump on the judgmental high horse, certainly when it comes to footballers, but lots of them do lots of really good things and I'm sure they'll continue to do so. Footballers do an extraordinary amount of good in the community, lots of them will already be giving in their silent ways, and I know that plans are afoot to make their contributions to society. I expect an announcement to come in the next few days, the next week or so.